with additional technology to actually automate a lot of those processes, meaning we run what we call compliance scans on an environment, and we can pull that data into our compliance assessment as backup supporting evidence, because any type of assessment you're doing is going to require not only you answering a question in terms of being compliant, non-compliant, or in some kind of remediation process, but the proof and the evidence that you that can back up a response to a question. And so with our compliance assessment, beyond the assessment piece, we also bring in what we call a compliance assessment scanning tool that can pull that data and then allow you to have that as supporting evidence for either having something being compliant, non-compliant, and then streamlining what we might call the plan of action and milestone process. Under our Security Shield domain, we have a couple of different offerings. One of those is our scanning and vulnerability management tool. Again, this particular solution does not require you to be on site. It actually allows you to launch a scanner that will spawn out into a client's network, both internally. There's an external scanner for anything that's what we call web-facing applications. And we also have remote scanners for those who have folks with computers that are not connected within the network. And this became a bigger issue after COVID because a lot of people were going home and working outside the network. So we've brought all three of those components together to allow you to do comprehensive scans of your whole environment, identify where issues may exist, and then more importantly, give you remediation information on how to fix those. And so as a service, as an MSP provider, you may want to do either provide that information to a client to help them understand what needs to be done, or in many cases, some of our clients, the customers that we work with, are also offering the remediation services as an additional revenue opportunity for them. And they get information on that to help them very quickly remediate those issues and provide that service back to the client. We also have a tool called Security Shield DLP, that's data loss protection. What this does is it allows you to identify critical data in an organization's environment and then set rules in terms of how that data can move throughout the organization. So again, in the case of something like CMMC, it meets a critical requirement in terms of identifying and protecting that CUI data. The basic mandate of the whole CMMC process is protecting that critical information. We also have vendor management solutions that allow you to do third-party risk assessments on your vendors and meet the requirements that you may have with the government to prove that you have implemented that type of a process. And lastly, around what we call our Integrity Shield tool, we offer solutions that will allow you to identify and